Akshata's recipes. Thank you so much for stopping by. So in today's video, I'm going to be sharing with you my recipe of jam-filled cookies. This is really a delight, and it's something which is very simple to make, but you're really going to make your friends, family, loved ones really happy by giving them these lovely cookies to eat. And especially with Valentine's Day coming soon, you can make this for them. So it's a super simple recipe, like I said, and the end result is simply delicious. So also in today's video, I'm going to be sharing with you stuff that I use for my baking and my sweet making. I got many queries as to what do I really have in my baking cupboard or baking drawer. Actually, I have a drawer in which I put everything, as you'll see in the video. Stuff that I have been collecting over the years, and I still have a lot of stuff that I really want to add to my collection for baking and for sweet making, because I do love baking. And if you go to my channel, you'll see an entire section of only sweets and desserts and baking, so you can go and check out the recipes. Like all my recipes, they are all very quick and very simple and very easy to make. So I hope you like today's video, because it's something different in which I'm going to share my baking essentials and my sweet making essentials that I have. So let's just dive straight into today's recipe and today's video. So let's take a look at the recipe. So here in a big mixing bowl, I've taken 1 cup of butter and I'm adding 3/4 cups of powdered sugar. You can just use regular sugar and powder it in your mixer. Now it would help to have the butter at room temperature. It makes the process really easier. Now we're just going to whisk the butter and the sugar well together till they combine well, and you get this very nice consistency, a smooth consistency. So this takes about 4 to 5 minutes, but then your mixture has to turn from a pale yellow to a pale white, and this is required for this recipe, or it is really key to the recipe if you want to have those really light and beautiful cookies. So we are going to whisk it. You can use an electric mixer, but even a hand mixer, a normal whisk takes, it does the job well, and it just takes about 4 to 5 minutes. Now we're just going to add about 2 tablespoons of milk. We're going to mix this again. Now we're going to add about 3/4 of a teaspoon of vanilla essence or extract, as well as 3/4 of a teaspoon of baking powder. Now get all of that in well by whisking. And now we're just going to use about 2.5 cups of all-purpose flour or maida. We're going to add a little bit at a time, and we are going to fold it in and not whisk it in, but we're going to fold it in with the cut and fold method. So just add a little at a time and fold it in. And then we're just going to get our hands in, and we are going to knead this to a nice soft and smooth dough. And once we've kneaded this to a nice soft and smooth dough, we're going to let it sit in the refrigerator for at least an hour. That will really help you to make the cookies well. They'll not get cracks in them, and the end result is going to be simply beautiful. So once we've kneaded it, we're just going to cover it. You can cover it with just a plain kitchen napkin, a cloth napkin, and put it into your refrigerator to sit for an hour. Now after an hour, we're just going to take a little bit of maida or all-purpose flour and just dust any surface where you normally make your cookies, like even a normal board will do, but I like to use my kitchen platform. It really makes work easier. And then we're going to make roll it out to 1 inch thickness, and then I'm going to use a cookie cutter like this, and I'm going to cut. I'm getting about 7 at a time, so I'm going to cut 7 of these little hearts. Now I've also preheated my oven to 180 degrees Celsius for 10 minutes. Now I've lined a baking tray with some parchment paper or baking paper. Now we're going to again knead the dough, again roll it out in the same way. Again, we're going to cut 7 hearts. But this time we're going to use the smallest mold, heart mold, and cut little hearts in the center of each of these hearts. You can also bake these little hearts. In fact, at the end of this recipe, you will see my daughter Ira. She was very innovative with it. She just added a little bit of pink gel food color into a little bit of the dough, and she cut out these little hearts, and then we baked them. Of course, you have to bake those for just 160 degrees for just about 5 minutes because they really bake very fast. But they looked so pretty. So in this way, you're going to put all of this on the baking tray, and we're going to bake this in our preheated oven at 180 degrees Celsius for about 5 to 7 minutes. Keep an eye. The minute they start turning golden brown in color, just switch off your oven. And then we're going to let them cool completely. So, here an iron rack will really help. So just transfer them onto the iron rack when they cool down. And now what we're going to do is we're going to take a little bit of jam. Now I have mixed fruit jam, which is my favorite and my family's favorite. Just dab a little in the middle. Just press the other heart, take off the excess. And your jam-filled cookies or biscuits are ready. Now you can sprinkle a little bit of, or just dust some icing sugar. But what I like to do is I just like to put a little bit of regular sugar on the jam. It looks really pretty. So in this way, we're going to make all the rest of it. Now I got exactly, I think about 16 or 18 of I got 16 cookies in total with the amount that I used. So here I've just sprinkled a little bit of regular sugar, and that makes them look so very pretty and dainty. Now to make them make them look even more beautiful, what I did is I just used some cupcake holders and I put them in them, and they look even more pretty. And that way you can even store them. They do have a long shelf life, about 4 to 5 days, if you can store them in a nice airtight container. So aren't they really pretty for anyone's birthday or any special occasion or Valentine's Day coming? You can just make this for your friends and family. Now these are the little hearts that I was talking about, the little pink hearts that my daughter Ira made. They're so pretty, aren't they? So the only thing is that you have to keep an eye on these because they bake really fast. So, within about 2 to 3 or 5 minutes, just put the oven off and take off these little pink hearts as soon as possible. Hi everyone. So when we start this video about what I have in my baking drawer, I can just touch up on the few before I show you the video. So of course, first you need to have an oven or a convention microwave. Now I'm not very familiar with the convention microwave because I've always baked in a regular oven and I'm very comfortable with it. So that would be, I will show you the model that I have, and it's really been really good. I've been using it for the past 10 years now. I've got many questions on my oven. Mine is a Bajaj Majesty and it's 2800 TMC. I've been using for the past 10 years and it's given me amazing results. Of course, baking trays. Now most ovens do come with at least a minimum of 2 trays, but if you want a particular type of tray, then you can get them in the market easily. Just be sure to take the dimensions of your OTG when you're buying the tray, so it fits perfectly. Then of course you require a kind of a rack, because when you're making cookies, you can just pull the cookies off on the rack, or if you want to pour some ganache on a cake or do some icing, then these racks are really, really helpful. Then of course parchment paper. That way the cake or the cookie doesn't stick to the baking tray or the baking tin that you're making it in. So baking paper also would be another essential. Then besides, lots of baking tins of various sizes. I have the conventional round baking trays in 2 or 3 sizes. Then I have the square baking tray which has a removable base, and that really is very helpful for me. It really makes it easier to get the cake out of the tin. Then I have, of course, the cheesecake tin, which has the spring foam base, which helps you pick up the cheesecake easily. Then I have the bread loaf tin, which you will see in the video. So basically, you get all different types and sizes of baking trays and baking tins. Now, if you want to know, as when I go shopping for my stuff, for those of you who are following me, you all already know my 2 favorite places. One is, of course, Bandra Hill Road, and one is Crawford Market. So there is a store called, I think, RF, if I'm not mistaken. So there you get everything. I think there's one RF store on Linking Road, I think just opposite Shopper Stop. So even over there you get all baking essentials. Then of course in Bandra I go to Cheap Jack, or even if you walk down Bazaar Road, there are many shops where you get everything you require for baking, all kinds of trays, all kinds of molds. That reminds me also. So this is my collection of baking tins. Let me just take you through them. So this is my a cupcake tin or my muffin tin. Then here I just have a basic round tin. I have this in 3 different sizes, 2 little larger sizes. This is my cheesecake tin with the spring foam. So I'm trying to show it to you all by managing the camera in one hand. But it has a removable base. Now you cannot use this to bake in an oven. It's not recommended to use this in an oven, but you can use this for a cheesecake. Then, of course, I have this little heart-shaped cake tin, which I like to use for my birthdays or special occasions. This is my square tin with a removable base. This is ideal, again, for cheesecakes or for brownies. This is my pie tin. This is my loaf tin, and this is my bun cake tin, or, I even use it for jelly. So this is... that reminds me also of molds, like if you're going to make Christmas sweets, and you have rubber molds, you have silicone molds. So that is also key to have in your baking essentials or sweet baking essentials. Then of course there are the whisks. So these are all the molds that I have, and also the rose cookie mold. Now this I use generally for chocolates. You can also use this for marzipan and milk cream. It's very reasonable to buy, and it's also very easy to use. Then of course this is my milk cream mold, which you all saw in my Christmas recipe, and I just got it this year, and it does make a difference to use a rubber mold. It's I don't know, I just love it more. Now this is just a regular Easter egg plastic mold that you get if you want to make the hollow Easter eggs. I have recipes for all of these, what I'm talking about. This is my normal Easter egg, which I use for marzipans. These are my little... actually nowadays you get them in roosters, although they need to be hens. But these are the Easter molds, my little bunnies. And this is the chocolate modaks that I made this time for Ganpati. So all of these recipes are on my channel. You just need to go and surf on my channel, and you'll get all these recipes. And of course, this is my lovely rose cookie mold again, which I bought this year. There are the whisks, but I also have this electric whisk, which is a hand-me-down from my dad, and that's actually what got me interested into baking and sweet making. So that really makes your work easier when you have an electric whisk. Of course, the stand-up electric mix is like my the KitchenAid one is on my bucket list, and that's of course a dream to have, and I really want to have one. So fingers crossed I will have that one day. And for those of you who have it, thumbs up guys, because that makes work so easy. So even if you don't have an electric whisk or a stand-up mix, you can just use a regular whisk. Of course it does make you give you a good workout for your arms, but you need to have a whisk. Then of course there is spatulas to get all of that batter and stuff out of your mixing bowls. Then of course Then of course different mixing bowls. It's good to have mixing bowls available because it helps you to get your ingredients together, the wet and dry ingredients. It helps you to mix up all your stuff. Then of course the cupcake holders or the muffin tray. Then you have the little cupcake holders which come in the baking or parchment paper with different designs. They also need to have if you want to bake muffins and cupcakes. They look really pretty and they make the cupcakes look nice. Or if you're making brownies and you just cut up the brownies and put them in that, they look really pretty. There is your weighing scale and measuring cups, which are very, very important to have if you want to go into serious baking and serious sweet making. Because what happens is when you stick to the weighing scale and the measuring cups and you know exactly what the recipe is calling for and you're sticking to that, then you can't go wrong with your recipe. Because 99% of the recipes that we Google or we look at on YouTube or we read recipe books have been tried and tested. So, it's good to invest in a weighing scale or at least have measuring cups at hand. So, one tip I'd like to give you here, if you don't want to invest in a measuring or in a weighing scale or measuring cups, what you can do is when you are making a particular recipe, and if the recipe calls for this many grams of different ingredients, what you can do is make a list and then go to your grocery store and ask the person to give you packets of that. Like for example, suppose you require 200 grams of icing sugar, so ask him to put it into a bag and you can just write it down there, so at least you have your exact measurements if you don't want to go in for a weighing scale. So this is just a useful tip for those of you who don't really want to go and buy a weighing scale. Just when you're going to the grocery store, buy the ingredients in that measurement, write it down so you know, okay, you have all your ingredients in the right measure. Then bag with all the different nozzles that's required if you really want to go into heavy icing and take cake decoration, which is also on my bucket list. I really want to do a course on that, and I want to learn how to do professional icing and cake decoration and fondant and frosting. So I will be doing that, and then I can show you many more recipes on how you can cake decorate. So yeah, I want to do that too. Then besides all, if I missed out anything, you'll see it in the video. So this is just stuff that I have and I've collected over the years, and like if I see it, okay, then there are cookie cutters and there are canopy small holders, a donut cutter. Basically, whenever I come up with a particular recipe in my head and I want to make it for my family and show it on my channel, so then I go and I buy the stuff, and that's how I add to my collection. And it's good to have all these things in your home, because then if you really want to make something for your friends and family, or you just want to surprise your family with some nice dessert or some sweets, then these things are there at hand and you don't need to go last minutes going and hunting for these things. So these are a few things that I have, and I wanted to just share them with you. Also, I was organizing my baking drawer, so I said this is a good opportunity to clean up my drawer and organize it, and also show you all what I have in it. And I do have many other things which I want to add on, into my drawer. I have a lot of things I want to buy. So once I do all of that, and I can make another video. Of course, this is a video of what things I use for my baking. I will be making another video like stuff that you need to have in your pantry if you're going into baking and sweet making, like icing sugar or baking powder. So I'll make a whole new video on that one. So now these are some of the other
stuff that I have, like, you need baking mitts, of course, to remove stuff from your oven. So invest in some good baking gloves or baking mitts. Then, of course, an apron. It keeps you clean and it also keeps you safe. So invest in a good cooking apron or baking apron. This is, of course, an icing or cake decoration stand, like a lazy Susan. It just turns around. These are my canopy molds. If you've seen my coconut canopies, Christmas recipe, it's there. Then, of course, my cookie mold, which I use in today's recipe, and my donut cutter. So besides that, I also have, since I am on YouTube and I have to show my recipes and little fancy stuff, so I have these lovely tray collection that I have. You must have seen this one in many of my Christmas sweet recipes. And this is my drawer, which I just cleaned up today. So I've just organized everything. Not that it's going to stay like this for a very long time, I must admit. So I've just kind of organized stuff and put them, away, like my nozzles in this and my canopies in this and some baking paper. So, and I need a lot of more stuff. I have everything written in my diary, what I need to add to my collection. But this is basically my little baking drawer.
Today's recipe as well as today's video, and if you would like to see more videos like this, then don't forget to leave this video a big thumbs up. Also, by clicking the thumbs up icon. Also, don't forget to subscribe to my channel and become a part of Akshata's recipes. Once you have subscribed, there is a small little bell icon that will pop up, so just click on that. That way, whenever I put up a new recipe or a new video, you get a message for the same. So on that note, I'll say bye and I'll catch you in my next video sooner than you think. This is Akshata saying bye, take care, stay healthy, stay fit, be kind and loving to one another. So till we meet again, bye.